Now I am going to teach about reproduction, the generating system. In plants and animals, reproduction is a necessary process for continuation of the life by producing of the offsprings. Reproduction is a very necessary process for continuation of life by producing of the offsprings. Here, offsprings means young ones, new individuals. Some organisms reproduces differently in different situations, different conditions. For example, paramecium. In favorable conditions, paramecium splits into two and giving rise to individuals. Whereas in unfavorable conditions, two parameciums come in contact, exchange certain materials of their bodies and produce forms. These forms are very tolerant. And as well as the time required to the reproduction is also varies from organism to organism. For example, you are all very aware about curd formation. The lactobacillus bacteria are the responsible for the curd formation. When we add a teaspoonful of curd into a small cup of warm milk, after some hours, the warm milk converts into curd. So the lactobacillus bacteria are reproduces very fastly. Here, the warm milk is a favorable condition to the lactobacillus bacteria's reproduction, whereas cold milk is unfavorable. So that is why the time required to the reproduction is also varies from organism to organism. Here, the modes of reproduction. Reproduction is mainly three types: asexual reproduction, vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation, sexual reproduction. In the asexual reproduction, there is no participation of the male and female gametes. Only single parent involves in this type of reproduction. Vegetative propagation takes place in plants. The vegetative parts of the plants participates in this reproduction. Here, male and female gametes participates. So now, we will discuss about asexual mode of reproduction and the types of asexual mode of reproduction. Again, asexual mode of reproduction occurs in many ways. So, here we will learn some of them. Here, asexual reproductions again divided into here some types. Those are fission, budding, fragmentation, parthenogenesis and regeneration. So fission. Fission is again divided into two types: binary fission and multiple fission. In binary fission, an organism just splits into two and giving rise to new individuals. And in multiple fission, the organism splits into more than two and giving rise more than two individuals. So this type of asexual reproduction, fission, is seen in single cell organisms like paramecium and bacteria. Second one is budding. So in this type of reproduction, a small growth forms on a parental body as a bud. It grows as very identical to the parent. When it grows completely, it separates from the parent body and grows as survives as independently. So many yeasts. This type of budding is seen in yeast and hydra. Third one is fragmentation. Fragmentation means breaking. Here, the fragments means pieces. Some new individuals can form from the fragments or pieces of the parent's body, and these survives independently. So this type of fragmentation occurs in flatworms, molds, lichens and spirogyra. So sexual reproduction also takes place in these animals, these organisms. But in algae, fungi and some land plants, this is only one common mode of reproduction, that is fragmentation. Fourth one is parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis is a strange type of reproduction where there is a shift from the sexual to asexual mode of reproduction. Organisms which reproduce sexually sometimes reproduce asexually. So in this type of asexual reproduction, parthenogenesis, the female gametes directly develops into zygote. Female gametes directly develops into zygote without fertilization, without meiosis. Actually, the zygote formed by the fusion of the male and female gamete in a sexual reproduction. But here, the female gametes directly develops into zygote without fertilization, without meiosis. And also the parthenogenesis seen in some animals. This strange type of parthenogenesis seen in some animals like bees, wasps and ants. So sexual reproduction also takes place in these animals. Here in these animals, zygote might be formed from the parthenogenesis or from the fertilized egg. So the fertilized, which zygote forms from the parthenogenesis, that zygote is called as parthenocarpic zygote. The parthenocarpic zygote develops into young ones. Those are female young ones. Those are in diploid state. Whereas fertilized zygote develops into male young ones. Those are in haploid or monoploid in state. Here the parthenocarpic zygote develops into female ones. Those are in diploid state, and fertilized zygotes develops into male new individuals which are in monoploid or haploid in state. Nowadays we are able to produce seedless fruits like watermelon, grapes by the parthenogenesis. So these seedless fruits are called as parthenocarpic fruits. And also we have utilized this type of parthenogenesis, asexual mode of reproduction, in growing organisms of our desire, of our choice, with more and more desirable characters, more qualitative characters. So this is parthenogenesis. And fifth one is regeneration. This is similar to fragmentation. Some individuals can be formed from the parent organism. Some organisms like planaria have the ability to giving rise new individuals from their body parts. These can be formed from any part of the body. So here the parent organism splits into 3 and these are grows into new individuals. This is a regeneration. Example, planaria. So this is the asexual mode of reproduction. Thank you.